friends of Biafrans. I am not here to give a speech that will last for hours, but I want to just go straight to bullet point. For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria, called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They're taught by the forceful and the barriers of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global where the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem. However, the state has continued to experience instability, insecurity, and the swelling lava of so-called agitation like they branded us today for self-determination. The Biafran government in exile and in the homeland, called the de facto government, has taken the liberation or so-called agitation from agitation to liberation by using what I called a multi-dimensional approach, relying on documentary evidence, observations, and descriptive analysis of the Nigeria state. By continuing to expose Nigeria and the nature of the Nigeria to the international community, especially to the new generational decision makers that didn't have the knowledge about how Nigeria come into existence. They have to be educated to know why we are fighting and why we must fight till Biafra is recognized and become an independent state. There is no going back. So they need to be educated to know when this thing comes to their table, the decision they could make that will impact the world. Because this is not just about Africa, but to impact the world positively. Now, this exposition of Nigeria includes the pattern of the coexistence among the different ethnic groups in Nigeria, including with their dangerous diversity. The extent these different dangerous diversities coexist, they exhibit the proactive for as well as factors that militate against the national integration, including when they say the RRR after the Biafra War. The manner the government promotes national unity and the factor that ignite the so-called the separatist tendency like they brand us today. The inability to foster sense common identity and the national consciousness among the different ethnic group and these different dangerous diversities. The continuing promotion of inter-ethnic hatred by this same Nigeria. Every person, single person occupying the highest position or one of the high positions in Nigeria today have promoted the inter-ethnic hatred, which is the reason one of our sister, Amaka, is here today. Every one of us has been a victim of the Nigeria leaders' promotion of inter-ethnic hatred and unhealthy rivalry of these diversities, as well as the bad governance rooted in corruption and divisiveness. And above all, the move from the secular state to the Islamic State of Nigeria. Today we have the Muslim ticket, which even many people from the Christian part never believed it could be possible. They have all happened. It is not only that, they sponsor ethnic cleansing, killings in other parts of Nigeria, except in Biafra land, that we are resisting them today under my leadership. These are the main factors that fuel Biafra agitation and the liberation today, which I am leading. My fellow Biafrans, we have seen the killings of Christians in Nigeria, in different parts of Nigeria, including in Biafra land. We are resisting them. We have seen the promotion of this inter-ethnic hatred, which our sister Amaka and every one of us is a victim. Today, the Biafra government have risen to take responsibility of defending Biafrans all over the world, irrespective of what you believe in, irrespective of whether you support the struggle for Biafra or not. So long as you are being bullied by the Nigeria state as an entity, we are going to rise up to defend you. Whether you believe in me, believe in the Biafra government or not, and it's left for you to accept that particular gesture. The government is here to protect every Biafran from A to Z, anywhere you are in the world. Once Nigeria representative or Nigeria as an entity rise up to bully you, it is then you will know that indeed Nigeria is not for you. My fellow Biafrans, we have made history today. The awareness we have created in Washington, D.C., United States of America, is bringing a shockwave across Africa and across Sahel. We will continue to create this awareness for the new generation decision makers who may not have much knowledge about the Nigeria existence. My fellow Biafrans, as we are pursuing this liberation of Biafra using diplomatic approach, political approach, we are also pursuing it using armed struggle approach. And that is what we call the self-defense international law, where Nigeria state has made our place so uncomfortable that we are now very comfortable in exile until we fight our way to delegitimize them, demilitarize Biafra land, and then go back to set up a government that works for the people. On this note, I will use this opportunity to invite our sister Amaka, which have faced both backlash, attack, bully from the Nigeria government, including the agent of the Nigeria within Biafra struggle. I have never spoken to Amaka, never, till today, and I have not spoken to her. Maybe I will speak to her here. But during the course of the Biafra government approach to defend her, and we went head on with the terrorist state and their representatives, providing evidences, and we are ready to provide witnesses for Amaka. We are not just only going to defend her by providing legal services and all that. We are ready to pay the legal fee. Not only that, we will provide witnesses on her behalf. The Biafra government will go to any length. We will use Amaka to set example of how a nation and a government should stand up for their citizens. Before that incident of the agent of Nigeria started reaching her, everybody was condemning her statement. And of course, it is only those who are deep-rooted with love for their people will understand what Amaka went through that made her a woman to make and utter such statement publicly on a live broadcast. We understood her, even though she was not part of us then. But being a Biafran that she is, even if she didn't accept it then, we understand her pain. It is only the Biafra government under my leadership understood Amaka's pain. And when we boldly stand up for her, it will be withdraw the statement against her. Because it was then they begin to see things from a different perspective. That's what makes us Biafrans.
Yes.
That's why we are different. And today, Amaka is here against all odds. Yes. Because she has been cursed, according to people who claim they have power to curse people, but their people are dying in their villages. They don't have the power to cure them. They say they have cursed Amaka because Amaka identifies herself with the Biafra Prime Minister. I am telling you today, Amaka, no curse. Even the one that I have laid upon you before this whole incident, the spirit I carry in me will neutralize every curse, whether from your family, from your village, and that is here. I am releasing that power that God has conferred in me, that every curse laid on you by anyone, before and after, will go back to them from today. Just watch and see.
He said,
I welcome you, Amaka. Give Biafra.
He said, he said,
he said, oh, okay, more, oh, if you would not. Asking say,
if Amaka is here, can you flash out to the screen, please? She's our new celebrity.
I think the network kicked her out. Amaka, try and access that link again and come in. Just a while ago, the network removed her. Amaka, use the link and come in. Use the link, the same link. You are able to open the camera and we saw you. You were doing well. So just grab that link and come in, and Biafrans want to celebrate you. You are our latest celebrity.
As soon as you join back,
thank you.
You can flash out to the screen if the network allows her. But I just want to let Biafrans understand that gone are those days that Nigeria state will bully any Biafra anywhere in the world and we allow them to have the field day. It's never going to happen again. That time is over. And today, we are laying example of how military and army should behave by freeing a Yoruba soldier who came to kill our people. And of course, he was captured just like other people, and we let him go free. And that is a big statement for them to understand that that's what we call the rule of engagement. And the trap we set to Nigeria state, they actually fall into this trap. Let us see the game how it's going to play. They don't want to talk about the Biafra Liberation Army, but this has forced them to speak about Biafra Liberation Army. They are also avoiding mentioning Biafra government. They continue to write IPOB. We have made it very clear, and let me also use this opportunity to say it as it is. for people, for them, because they continue to use IPOB. We are not IPOB as an organization. We are Government of Biafra in exile and the Biafra de facto government in the homeland. We are not IPOB as an organization. IPOB is indigenous people of Biafra, and this government represents indigenous people of Biafra as a nation and as a people, not as organization. And that should be made very, very clear in case they were not understanding. So not when we do something under this government, do not attach IPOB as an organization to it. I want to send this particular message to be very, very clear to the Nigerian state today, so that they should be addressing whatever we are doing properly to the Biafra government, not attaching IPOB to it. IPOB is a registered organization, and we have moved from there to a government, and that's where we are today. So stop linking us to an organization called IPOB, which is a Nigeria political pressure group. And today, they are no longer relevant in Biafra struggle, because you have used them for many years to kill our people, use them as sacrifice, only to put for a particular political interest. That particular time has ended. And if the Biafra agitation was a joke, we have made it a reality. It is no longer a joke. Under my leadership, it is not a joke. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you.
Yes, Biafrans. As you are watching, we are recording things we're supposed to record. We are putting things we're supposed to put together, so that when we come up with our analysis, you will be able to understand how everything is rolling.
That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Sulis, and I am a good friend and colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation of Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be fighting for your freedom in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence movement is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence from the British 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny, and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered his master stroke. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause, it will be a game changer. Because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Moran and myself are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will.
Thank you, lovers of freedom all over the world. I am Paul Omumbiko, serving Biafra with a 5x5 vision. And our job is to spread this gospel down to the end of the universe, that the Biafra must be restored. We are the children of God, and the Biafra is here. We thank you, our PM.
Now, Biafrans, we are joining the history that is happening. Please bear with us. You will see what is happening in Nigeria and how Nigeria is going down, and also what it means to have a government that cares to protect his own citizen. This is the most important thing. Then, this video you are about to watch now, this one you are about to watch now, our PM said set a trap. He set a trap
particularly taking
for
this their
Nigerian
call
government
seriously for one
to fall
simple
into
reason. The
as a
Nigerian army is
military.
notorious
He knows
with
the
its human
game
rights,
he
a
will use.
long-standing one.
Let us explain it a little. As a military he knows the game he will play. Our Igbo adage used to say, "No nwa atụrụ ka eji ejide nne ya." Or if you want to catch a chicken, you bring corn and you throw the corn inside. PM used what they call military ideology to hold Nigerian government, and that is what you are about to watch in this place. Truly, it's not our time for analysis, but I want everybody to understand where we are going. In as much as you are following this gospel, try to get it right. How Nigerian people has fallen into the trap which our PM set for them. Look at it.
And I'm not sure that the call from the Nigerian army is necessarily targeted at a particular event that is coming up. I think it's probably more them. In my opinion, I think they're even playing to the gallery to an extent. I haven't particularly taken their call seriously for one simple reason. The Nigerian army is notorious with its human rights records, in those theaters where they have been in operations trying to combat whatever forces, they might feel that they are legitimately combating. Legitimately so. But in the process of defending the territorial integrity of your country, there are rules and conventions all over the world with regards to how you treat even enemy combatants. And the Nigerian army has not been particularly, they've not painted themselves in glory.
So you think that their notoriety in how they carry out their operations is going to, deter the international organization from listening to their calls or their...
Yeah, I think that their call will be taken with a pinch of salt. It almost seems like a bit of sarcasm to me. Everybody, so to put it in common parlance, hey, Shebi, every time you people are carrying us to ICC and carrying us to Amnesty International, now we too want to go to ICC and Amnesty International. It looks that way to me, because in my view, yes, the way the gentleman was treated was absolutely abominable and must be condemned. I think that the Nigerian army are well equipped to go in and retrieve him and do whatever they need to do while staying within the ambits of the law. So they don't have too much of my sympathy, to be honest.
But we're having a double way in this story. The Nigerian army of the opinion that this man served, that the man is still in service. Now, is it that the Nigerian army don't really know the man's status?
No, I mean...
Or are we having a discrepancy now to determine his own idea?
We have to go with the official statement from the Nigerian army. Nobody would know who works for the Nigerian army more than the Nigerian army themselves. So,
82 division, something happened in 82 division some months ago, where a man, killed a woman, allegedly, though the Nigerian army were like, they are looking into that. It happened there in 82 division. The Nigerian army of the opinion that the man who did that, it's not, or was not recruited from the joint task force. And they said he's not a repentant Boko Haram member. Whereas we have other information out there on the social media platform showing that this man was recruited from the joint task force as a repentant Boko Haram member. So do you also think that we're seeing a clear notion of all the stories happening?
Well, it's. I guess we would have to take that as a separate case, and maybe that would call to question the integrity of the information that comes out of the Nigerian. And we do know, we've seen in the past that, again, they've not.
Now, lovely Biafrans, you see the military that came to kill Biafrans, which Biafran Liberation Army freed. They freed him. They freed him in order for the whole world to know that what we are talking about is not a joke. Then, what we are talking about is not a joke. Remember, Nigerian government has been calling for the arrest and the repatriation of our prime minister, which our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu they are holding. They have not been able to hold him. Now they have now written to International Human Rights Organization, forgetting that the Prime Minister of the indigenous people of Biafra, United States of Biafra, works with the Human Rights Organization, the one based in Finland. He is one of their members. He started as a human rights lawyer. So Nigerian government is calling human rights organization to extradite their own property to Nigeria. Then PM said in this place that that we have already written more than 500 copies. You know, very long time ago when we have been doing analysis in this place, we told you some of those documents, when they have to present it, sometimes PM call us to see what is really going on. Now, Nigerian government has not succeeded in extraditing him. They now call international community. If you check when we will come for analysis, we will begin to show the pictures. Now, all the atrocities Nigerian government has committed against Biafran people has been forwarded to Human Rights Organization, the ICC, and the World Court. Double crossing. Now, when they catch this soldier here now, they made him confess for Nigerian government to recognize that Biafran Liberation Army is the best soldier in the world. So take it from here because of our time. Listen to it and you will see how Nigerian government fall for the trap again. They fall for the trap once more. That is what we have, why we are here now on break time, to make sure we register this thing before it is late. You can see the boy anywhere you have seen his picture.
Well, it's. I guess we would have to take that as a separate case, you know, and maybe that would call to question the integrity of the information that comes out of the Nigerian. And we do know, we've seen in the past that, you know, again, you know, they've not necessarily painted themselves in glory when it comes to even disseminating factual information about things that are going on. You know, I remember the very unfortunate incident in 2020 where we all saw live videos. I saw live transmission, Instagram live feed, where bullets were being removed from people's legs. And then the Nigerian Army came out in an official statement and said it was, what do they call it, doctored or something like that. You know, that was a bit ridiculous. So they have a checkered history. And for me, it's the reason I'm a bit unsympathetic towards whatever they are saying now.
Nigerian journalist is saying that he is unsympathetic to Nigerian military. Remember, our declaration, PM has appointed people that is writing grievances declaration. What you hear the journalist talking in this place is inside the packages of grievances declaration. We hope that human rights, international human rights will invite our prime minister. We are praying for all these things to come. You understand? Because so we are praying that international human rights will invite our prime minister for all these things to be unveiled. Then the journalist of Nigeria is telling you that all the atrocities, Fulani recruited military in uniform, the atrocities they are committing, and this is what PM says when he say that there will be grievances declaration, commitment declaration, and institution declaration. we go up.
I think the guy that is being maltreated by IPOB, if that is the case, should be rescued, you know, and they should deal with them with the full force of the law and the might that they have, the might of the state, and that's not about that. Why are they going to the ICC?
Okay.
I don't understand that at all.
Thanks very much. Let me stay with you on this issue. You said something about this case not being isolated. I think it has a broader perspective.
Absolutely.
So in the sense that it should have a broader perspective, do you think that it's some kind of selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army, you know, to take the case of IPOB to the ICC and Amnesty International, the same Amnesty International that has several times called out the Nigerian army, you know, to take the case of IPOB, that it should have a broader perspective. Do you think that it's some kind of selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army, you know, to take the case
hear
of
the
IPOB?
selective justice again? This grammar, selective justice, become popular when the Abrekata Abrieste, when she single-handedly hijacked Amaka to persecute her. But it happens that Chukwukika Abiyama is the person who brought Amaka out in order for the whole world to see what is happening. Atiku Abubakar commented on Amaka case. Peter Obi commented on Amaka case. All media in Nigeria commented on Amaka case. Now, they are now giving it the name that it's supposed to be given. They call it selective judgment against Biafran people.
You know, to take the case of IPOB to the ICC and Amnesty International, the same Amnesty International that has several times called out the Nigerian army against inhuman treatments to civilians. And again, for the fact that the Nigerian army have not been able to take this same case of Boko Haram, bandits, and terrorists to the ICC. You recall what happened when Jonathan tried headlong, you know, to decimate the terrorists. And it was like, oh, we are going to ICC because in here, Jerica, you are chief of army staff. You know, you people are killing my people and all of that. You know, so do you think it amounts to selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army to do one thing in this case and do another in another case in the same jurisdiction?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's part of the reason that I'm skeptical towards this, their call, because it's one, I mean, look, that's one single individual. One individual that is maltreated by any unlawful means or whatever is too much. You know, you don't have to get to 2 or 3. So we have to condemn that. But my goodness, I mean, the kidnappings that are happening every day in this country, people taking ransom and then still killing the victims. Where was the Nigerian army and where was the petition to the ICC, you know, when all of these things were happening? For me, honestly, it's ridiculous. I think that sometimes these government officials really do need a bit of reorientation. You know, these government officials really do need a bit of reorientation. Sometimes these government officials really do need a bit of reorientation. You know, they have to.
Government officials really do need a little bit of reorientation. And that is how our PM have hijacked Nigeria. Man, if you watch our headline says that for those who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. Every country in this world has a history to tell. And we didn't come for analysis. Truly, we didn't come for analysis. We only came here now to record this thing before it will be late. The worst problem with Nigeria is that every plan against us always turn against them. They are yet to understand that you understand, from divine pressures. You understand? What is happening is, in this place now, is that the same thing that happened in the Bible. Pharaoh and Israel. Anything Nigeria is doing today now is going against them. Remember that the Biafran government, home and abroad, has sued the Nigerian government to African court. Now, Nigerian government has come openly to AICC and the International Human Rights Organization asking for extradition of our PM. And the PM is telling you that it can never happen. And we that is showing our faces here knows that it can never be possible according to international law. Even me now that is here, Nigerian government cannot rendition me. You understand? They can't rendition me because nnụnụ pụtara n'ụzọ na-agba egwu ihe na-aka ọrịa nkwa nọ n'ime ọfịa. You understand now? So we know the law, we know the sacrifice we give, and we know exactly what is happening. They throw this rat for Nigeria, and Nigeria fall into the trap. Remember, Triple M, I greet you. Remember, whenever Nigerian government, you remember that Tinubu, when the Biafran finance minister visited Trump team, Tinubu made a statement and wrote to Trump that he should not listen to that boy called Simon Eba. You understand? Now, you that live in Europe, you remember, anytime you try to destroy somebody's name in front of an intellectual, that is when you publish the person. And now Trump has seated well to analyze, to think, who is then this guy? But to remember, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, there is a picture that time when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu spoke about Trump, how he will use Trump. And our PM personally, he spoke to Trump and they delivered the information of Biafra to Trump. Tinubu didn't know this because they think that he is a small boy. Tinubu didn't know this, that Biafrans are number one in Trump campaign list. They didn't know this and they thought it's a joke until the Biafran finance minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, went to meet Trump team. The Trump team came on their own to confirm that when Trump won the election before, Fulanis and this military that is calling for the extradition of our PM begin to shoot innocent people that is jubilating for Trump victory. You understand? And the Tinubu get the God to write to Trump. He should be careful about the man. And he has already published the power of our PM. Anthony Blinken, which is the current Secretary of the United States, said he has never come across such a human being before. Such human being, our PM. Biafrans, truly, I didn't come to do analysis, but we just come here to make sure that everybody that is following what we are doing is really, you are really following it and you are well connected to the history. When they ask you, how was Biafra restored? How did the Biafra got their own independence? You can be able to testify. You see the lobbies. The lobbies is telling our PM, go on, we are with you. Onye nna ya ziri oshi na-eji ụkwụ agbawa ụzọ. That is what happened in that place. And when we are talking, we are speaking with the facts and the figure, because we don't really have time to be joking. We don't have time to be joking. We don't have time to be joking. We come here to make sure we deliver the message according to.
I'm serving it 16th Brigade Nigeria until I travel to this Okigwe. which I entered the Biafra Liberation Army. And as they had me since almost 2 or 3 days now, they made sure that they didn't do me any evil. They tell me that they are fighting for the liberation
The
of
best military
Biafra,
in the world.
that everything about me they want to know, and that's why I'm explaining. And they don't do me any evil since I come. They take care of me as I beg them to forgive me and pardon me for a second chance in life. So they said they have heard me, that they are not to harm me or they are not wicked people. All what they want is to make sure that the Biafra liberate. So that is the reason why I'm here. I'm begging, and they said they have listened to me, that they will consider me, that they are not wicked people, that they will give me second chance.
What do you say is your name?
Corporal Toriola Adewale.
You are a Yoruba man.
Yes, sir.
A Yoruba man. You
Yes.
see now that, and now you are in the hands of the Biafran Liberation Army.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen the difference between the Zoo Janjaweed and the Biafran Liberation Army?
Yes, sir. I've seen the difference. It's not like the way we treated the Biafra people, the way they treated the IPOB. So this very one, you people take care of me. You don't harm me. You don't do me any evil. You only ask me some question. As I'm answer, you say you are going to give me second chance.
Now, we are going to give you the second chance with one condition, that you will leave. You are going to leave Biafran land and never to come back again until Biafra is fully restored.
Yes, sir.
You now, what message do you have for your brothers, those idiots still remaining in that zoo military, that terrorist camp? What do you have to tell your brothers, those ones there? What message do you have for them?
My advice for my people, that they still remain in the armed forces, Yoruba and the Igbo, whosoever. My advice for them is for everybody to go back to his own area, his own state, his own region, so that everybody will go on their own. That is my advice for them.
Tell them, call them, those ones in remaining from that place that you serve. Tell them your name so that they will see you very clearly. They know you. Tell your colleagues.
My advice to the soldier in 16th Brigade is that they should make sure that they resign and go to their own various area, because make the Nigeria divide, everybody go on their own. That is my advice for them. As you can see, Biafra is a thing that they must come to the pass. As the people are agitating, make our people, make everybody go on their own. That is my advice for them.
What message do you also have for your president, your Janjaweed president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
My advice for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to stop looking for Samuel Ekpa, and to share the nation. Let the Biafra people go, and any other people that they seek for their own nation, so that everybody will be on their own and peace will be. That is my advice, sir.
So this message is for those people out there talking rubbish that Biafran Liberation Army, that we are terrorists. Look at the Fulani terrorists, the Fulani Janjaweed, the Nigerian terrorists, the Nigerian Janjaweed, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is your security. See, our strong message to you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you have heard it from your so-called terrorist soldier. Release Nnamdi Kanu and stop looking for Biafran Liberation Army commanders. You cannot get them. We are not evil like you people. As you are leaving this particular place today, you are going back to Yoruba land. Go and fight for your own nation. We are Biafran Liberation Army. We are not terrorists. We believe and practice You cannot fight the Igbos. You cannot fight us. We cannot fight Biafran Liberation Army. We are giving you a very strong message to divide this.
Now, lovely Biafrans, that is how we are bringing this news, because it is good when you do something, you let people know how it happens. The simple reason you see our prime minister winning this game is very simple. The reason he is winning this game is because he is not doing anything in secret. Anything he do, he come out openly to the public and let the whole world know. And even before he will take action, he will come and he will tell them, I am coming for you. This is what I want, and this is what I want in return. Allow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to go, or you will see 30 days sit at home. He will inform you for you to be prepared. If you say that you are a strong person, then you come out and challenge. If you are not a strong person, then obey. Biafran Liberation Army has demonstrated to the whole world, that what they need is freedom. That is why when you hear PM, when he speak here, he said in our topic, he said, for those of you who do not know what we are doing, who did not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. Every country in this world has history. And when you hear him say that he will defend Biafra, every country in this world are still defending their own country. Let us show you the same
extraordinary rendition, torture, and continued detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, without due process. The UN therefore asked the Nigerian government to immediately release Kanu unconditionally. The United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has indicted Nigeria and Kenyan governments over the arrest and extraordinary rendition, torture, and continued detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, without due process. The UN therefore asked the Nigerian government to immediately release Kanu unconditionally and pay him adequate compensation for the arbitrary violation of his fundamental human rights. While recommending that government officials responsible for the torture of the IPOB leader be investigated and punished, the UN body further directed Nigeria to report back within 6 months of the transmission of its opinions on Kanu's matter, steps taken to comply with all recommendations thereof. The 16-page report dated July 20th, 2022 was adopted on April 4th by the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention at its 93rd session held between March 30th and April 8th, 2022.
No. What should I do? It's what we expect to happen. But I want our people to be very calm. I want Biafra land to be calm and peaceful. Calm and very, very peaceful. We are fighting to defend our people. Not to kill them. Yes. We are fighting to defend them. That's why I'm here. Yes. And we'll continue to do so until we get victory.
The United Nations Human Rights Council.
Do you know why we are doing this like this? This is the same human rights organization. Read it here. United Nations Human Rights Council. The same people that ask the Nigerian government to allow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to go and they pay him compensation. This is the same place Nigerian government is going, asking to extradite our prime minister. Did they think that we are joking in this place? I do not understand if this is what they think. Loretta Onochie said, when Amaka case came up, Loretta Onochie said that Canada police is not like in Nigeria. At least that is a place where government, police can do their work. Loretta Onochie. So, Biafrans, let me show you, in order for us to have a good documentary. Lolego Yibo, I see you, eh? Then look at it. Look at it, Biafrans. In case when you want to explain to anybody how it is happening and how Biafra is fighting, this is the news here. Nigeria government stood up and begin to write it to human rights or international human rights organization. The same international human rights organization is the same people that judge the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is how you see why the journalist of Nigeria said that he has no sympathy on Nigerian soldiers that is going to Biafran land. When they go there, they will meet their whatever they are looking for. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu says that when they come to Biafran land, they will turn to manure. You understand? So, lovely Biafrans, we come to deliver this message. Remember, our topic today is for those of you who do not understand what we are doing. We are fighting for our freedom. And remember, ejiro anya ọma achọ freedom. That's why in the Bible they says, freedom is not given but taken. You don't go and beg for your own freedom. You go and take it. Many of us have left a lot of pleasures in our life, making sure that we get our freedom. There's nothing like freedom. At least let it be what we did in this world. PM doesn't sleep, and me and you doesn't sleep, because we know, we are trying to let you know that we know our right. We are not afraid of anybody in this, especially this place. We know that PM says, if United Nations answer these people, make him bend. The same thing we are telling you in this place. Nobody is coming. Only that if you bring at your own time, then you will do wonder. We know our right, and we decided to be using our right to fight for complete freedom. With every one of us have a lot of grievances that made us to let some other things and face freedom. Amaka, for example, that is global figure. PM, for example, do you know the kind of things he have seen before he decided to leave his comfort zone? His comfort zone, which you know the senators in Nigeria is jealous of his own comfort zone in Finland. And all this thing he has, he left it. He said, okay, he is fighting for freedom. Look at somebody like Ngozi Orabweze. Some people that can get up and they will say they are picking cola with the $5,000. Look at somebody like a finance minister. People who come up and they donate something like $50,000 only to pick cola, making sure that they give you freedom. Do you think they are hungry? Yesterday, a woman get up and they donated $50,000 inside an IOU loan. Do you hear it? So some people must have something that bothers them. But if you know that your own brother and sister is living in Europe, America, England, a developed country, they are not delivering you this kind of message, telling you that your freedom is the best thing you need, then they are the kind of people that is following anywhere. Many of them are the people following P2B. The people who believe that when they come back to Nigeria, they will begin to take advantage of people instead of fighting for freedom. You live in a very nice environment where there is running water, electricity, healthcare, and everything. When you go to Nigeria, you will go there and begin to put your trousers inside behind your ass, walking along the street. Fight for freedom. That is the main thing that will make you a man. So, lovely Biafrans, we are here trying to cut it off now. Maybe we will return again for another type of analysis. But we have just come here to let Biafrans to know how PM used the soldier, the Fulani terrorist soldier, set example for Nigeria. And also you have watched Nigerian media analyzing it. That is how a military supposed to act. Now, the Biafran soldier is the #1 soldier all over the world. #1. History says warriors fight like a Biafran soldier. History says. And we have other analysis that says that there are people that is hunger for freedom. They have the ability. They have everything it takes to get their own freedom. He said, do you know what we're going to do? What they're going to do is to get the hell out of them. Let them fight. Any people that win, they will sign contract with them. That is exactly what is happening. United Nations is not interfering. You will get up and they fight for your own freedom. If you Fulani eliminate you, then United Nations will sign contract with them. But if Biafran Liberation Army, Biafran government win, United Nations will sign contract with the Biafran Liberation Army. That is the thing that is happening. That's why PM says, Onye hiora eburu egbe ya. This is 555 Vision program, and we have just come to deliver this message this cool afternoon. Nigerian government has written to international human rights organization, and the PM has also written to them also, which next time we will bring those ones out. Thank you, lovers of freedom.